Hey guys, watch me drop the engine right off of this tractor. If you thought that was good, don't worry, I do it again. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Click the button right in the corner of this video. Hi Zeus, thanks for joining us today. We are going to do an in-depth view on why my Chinese Joyner buggy has disappeared from the channel. Yes, this is the engine for the Chinese Joyner buggy sandrail thingy. And this here is an 800cc turb-ski boosted 3-cylinder engine that came in this Chinese Joyner. And anyway, as you can probably tell, it does no longer run, drive, move, start, or any of the fun stuff. It's not because I've been hiding it from you. It's just because I haven't been showing it to you. So, here it is in all its glory. Don't mind the engine hoist in the back. We're going to get into that on a different video. But this video is all about the failure and what happened to this once glorious made in China Joyner Mini Sandviper 800. So here it is. We got it sitting in the house garage. Not for any particular reason. There's no heat in this garage either, but I have electricity to weld, and the NIPCO here up in the garage heats this small area quicker. So the main reason is because we have electricity for welding, and we're going to get into why I'll need welding here on a different video. But anyway, so the Joyner's up here in the house garage, but the engine is back in the barn, and that's where all the live action is going to be. So let's head back down to the barn. So we're going to get right into the live action here. I've got to drag this 800cc 3-cylinder turbo engine with the transmission still on it, and I am going to hang it from the tractor so that it's more workable height. Don't have to bend over, you guys can see it better, blah 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 blah. So the live action is going to start right now, where you guys get to watch me drag this by hand, because my engine hoist is in the garage and I'm not going to haul it down here in the snow, over to the tractor. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, watch this. Try a chain this time. At least we had some moderate success with that. I appear to be leaking oil and antifreeze all over the floor, so that's a good bonus. But at least now we can start taking this thing apart and figuring out what went wrong. Alright, so here's the deal, guys. Me and a buddy from work were out here one day. We put brand new tires on this here Chinese Joyner Mini Sandviper 800. And we were cruising up and down the road around the farm, having a good time. And I was like, gosh, I love this thing. I love going fast. Let's see how far we can go fast. And so I had this thing matted to the woods, going 3 miles up the gravel road. Now, this thing goes pretty quick. I'm not going to, spout out any numbers there, but, quick. Quicker than you would drive on most highways in the U.S. Yeah. So anyway, we get down 3 miles down the road and this thing starts running real bad. And I said, I'm pretty gosh dang lazy. I'm not going to walk all the way back to my house. So I flipped the thing around and I pegged it real hard. And we're going to, put her to the woods again, coming 3 miles back home. Well, about a mile from here, I'm pretty sure we started firing on 2 cylinders. Because I had it matted to the woods. We weren't making any boost. And I was only doing, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 miles an hour. But anyway, we make it to the end of the driveway. And this thing, I've got it matted. Still, to the woods. And this thing's not even moving anymore. And I look behind me. Engine's in the back, right? I look behind me. And we have a massive fire right here from all the oil being pushed out of the valve cover and through the cylinders and stuff and getting lit on fire by this exhaust manifold. This cylinder and this cylinder were red. These things were so hot that these two cylinders were red and this cylinder was not. And then there was a massive oil fire down here, which is, you know, 18 inches from where we're sitting. And I got none of this on film. Absolutely none of it. We were just having a good time, me and my buddy. I wasn't thinking about filming anything. Boom! Yeah, I blew her up. I take responsibility. You know, it's not my first dumb choice, and it won't be my last dumb choice. I tell you that. So anyway, that's the story on why we're digging into this. Now let's go ahead and dig into this turbo 3-cylinder 800cc stick shift piece of work. Here we are tuning in on the next morning. I was interrupted by Mortsky Repair yesterday as we wanted to get a square body running that has been sitting in the pasture for years. If you want a link to that video, check it out right here. Anyway, we got the turbo kit off yesterday. Today's project, I think we're going to try to strip down the rest of the engine, give you guys a little closure on what exactly happened to our Chinese Joyner Sandrail, Sand Viper 800, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get rid of this transmission here, and then after that I think we'll get rid of, you know, the alternator, the tensioner bracket, maybe the timing chain, timing gear, that sort of thing, whatever's in here. Might even be a belt. I don't even know. So first things first, we're going to try to ditch this transmission. So I remember driving the buggy, the clutch was pretty fried. We can't really see much from here. I might have to take that pressure plate off to show you just how shot that clutch was. It would slip in third or fourth gear pretty good. But remember, we were also making 100% more power than this engine came from with the factory, thanks to that turbo kit over there. The inside of the transmission, inside the bell housing there, it actually looks really nice. So I'm pretty happy to see that. I might try to sell this transmission used to another Joyner member. Same thing with that turbo kit. So if you guys own a Joyner Sand Viper 800, you guys are looking for a 4-speed transmission or a turbo kit, hit me up, man. I'm ready to go. So, or any other parts from this engine that you think you might need, alternator, you know, anything. You guys want anything off of this? Let me know. Hit me up. So as we can see here, look inside those cylinders. I don't know if it'll show up here on camera, but the inside of that cylinder is really wet. And the inside of this cylinder is really wet. And the inside of this one's dry. So we're gonna be able to see, I don't know, can you guys see in there? It's right in there. It's just so wet down by that valve. Same thing here. It's just really wet down there in that valve. And then this one down here is just so dry. Hopefully that comes up on camera. I'm not sure that it will, but hopefully that comes up on camera for you guys. But anyway, we've got the engine down. We've got transmission off. We got the turbo kit off. We got a bunch of other little things off. Next up, what we're going to have to do is I think we're going to pull the timing cover off and see if we got a belt or a chain and get that off of there so we can work on removing this head. Looks like we have a timing belt, which I guess I'm not that surprised to see. I was expecting a chain, but I'm not surprised to see a belt, just the way the Japanese engines are. So anyway, the belt looks really nice. Like, I want to say nearly new. Check this out. This belt looks really nice, good shape. There's no cracking of any kind on the belt at all. It just looks super nice. There's no wear marks really. There were only 1,300 miles on this unit when I got it. So engine wise, that's not a lot of runtime on an engine. Anyway, excited to see how good a shape this is in. Let's keep tearing it down further and see what the failure was. Inside the valve cover, everything looks so nice. I can't believe how nice this engine is inside, considering the fact that I just blew it up. But look inside the valve cover here. Look how clean everything is. The cam looks really nice, all the lobes. All the oil is clean, the valley is clean, there's no sludge anywhere. All the timing gears are clean. Just incredible how clean this engine is. Even underneath the timing cover. Look how clean it is underneath the timing cover. God, it's just crazy how nice this engine is, especially considering I just blew the thing up. right, YouTube. We got the head off and we got the block on the ground. And that was the most elegant I possibly could have been, taking that engine block off of the head. And yeah, I don't care. So anyway, there's our engine block. Here's our head. So as you can see here, look at the spark plug tips. Can you guys see? You can see the entire tip of the spark plug here. Look at this one. This one's slightly burned off. This spark plug was starting to get pretty hot. You can see that a lot of it's gone up in there, and we also have a broken valve. Now let's move on to the next cylinder. Look at this cylinder. Look how hot this freaking thing got. This strap is burned almost all the way off, and there's melted spark plug up in that hole. So that cylinder, toasted. This cylinder, halfway toasted, bad valve. This cylinder, good. Let's move on to the engine block. So here again, we've got one good cylinder. Look how nice color that piston is. A little bit light brown. It's got a good burn on it. Then we move on to this cylinder. Starting to get pretty hot. Nothing I wouldn't trust. We do have a little bit of a cave here in the middle. You guys might not be able to see that on camera. And then we've got the third hole. Yeah, there's a hole in that freaking piston, just like I guessed. So there we go, guys. When you run a turbo engine at full throttle with no intercooler, making double the horsepower it's supposed to make for miles on end, with the throttle to the freaking woods, this is what you're going to end up with. Cylinders get hot, and you're going to freaking melt your piston. So I tell you what, this engine actually could be saved. The head looks good on the bottom side. The head gasket doesn't look like it's blown out anywhere. So the head gasket actually looks like it's pretty decent. I got really no complaints with the head gasket, except, you know, we got all these really nasty deposits all over it, but that's not the head gasket's fault at all. So anyway, we got a melted piston. This engine probably could be saved. I doubt I'm gonna save it. Probably gonna part this buggy out for parts or something like that. So if any of you guys need some engine parts off of this turbo kit, you guys need a head, you need an alternator, you need timing cover, you need transmission. It's over there, you know, whatever you guys need, anything even off the buggy, if you guys want something, hit me up, let me know. I think I'm gonna part this thing out. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Mickelson Racing Channel. Don't forget to subscribe down there in the corner of this video. Like, comment, share. It's what all the cool internet people do, or at least that's what the cool internet people tell me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week on the Mickelson Racing Channel.